What is up, everyone? Welcome back to part 2 of the Tic Tac game board build. The original one, when they built it, they put the dividers in kind of in multiple pieces. So you had 2 long pieces and then you had a bunch of little short pieces. I thought that is going to be a nightmare to get that to lay in there and be able to pin it down. So I came up with the idea of this one. We actually went with two-tone. I had some scrap mahogany laying around and cut those 8 inches long. So it's all 4 pieces or 8 inches, and then did a half lap joint to where that is all self-centering. Just push it together once you get the little dados cut in there. Pushes in, then it actually just lines right up and pushes down in. Makes a lot better looking board. So the first step in building that is cutting a whole bunch of 3/8 by 3/8 by 8 inch long pieces of mahogany. Takes a little bit of work to get those all cut where we're building 30 boards, but it is well worth it. A lot easier than cutting all individual pieces and trying to lay them in and get them set. The dimensions on that, if you're doing the 8 inch board like this, 8 inches inside dimension from here to here, and the same both directions. If you use 3/8 dividers, that actually comes out to 2 7/16 spacing. So that's how big each little square is. I'll show you how I cut those. We'll move on. All right, set up on our table saw. 3/8 of an inch stacked dado head cutter in there, which is our dimensions on our center divider, 3/8 by 3/8. That is set half the depth of the wood. So we're only cutting through half of the divider. So we can do a half lap joint. 2 7/16 of an inch from the edge of the blade to the fence. We actually run it through one direction like that. Flip this piece over, cut the other side, so we end up with 2 pieces. Then when you flip one over and push them together, they seat completely down and you get your half lap and all your dimensions are set. So that just pushes right into the frame. Assembly of the center dividers. You need 4 pieces. Each one of those are cut with our little dado cuts in there for our half lap. 2 of them are facing up. The other 2 go down over the top. Just line up those cuts. Give it a push down. The other one, same exact technique. Push those down. Just make sure they're lined up. And they push right down to make our center divider. Alrighty, we will start working on building the blocks. For each board you need 9. I have started by taking a 2x6, planing it down to 1 1/4 inches thick, and then I have ripped it to 2 3/8 wide. It needs to be just a little smaller than your openings in your center dividers. And then we will take, and while they're in the board form, take and route the edges down. Makes it a lot easier. Then you end up with basically routed on 4 sides. And then you take and cut it this way, 2 3/8. So you end up with a square block. And then we will start working on routing the edges. All right, we thought we'd take a second and explain our sanding and routing jig for making all the blocks. We started out with the two side pieces are screwed down to the plywood. Everything in the center floats so it will tighten up. So the long dividers are separate, and also there is a small divider block between each one to space it out so the router can run all the way around it. Load them all in, push the top piece down, we crank the clamps down. You can see that snugs those blocks all up so they're good and tight. That way they're secure. You can sand everything, route it, get that side done, loosen everything up, just flip everything over and do the other side. A safe, quick, easy way to route your blocks. All right, we have finally made it to final assembly. Center cross hatches, your center dividers, actually just push right down in. If they're off a little bit, you can sand a little off to get them to slide in. I am going to take a pinner and just put a few pins in here just to keep that in so it doesn't fall out. We have taken a Cricut and cut all of our X's and O's out of vinyl. You can put one on each side, and then all your blocks just go in for your finished tic-tac-toe board. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed these videos, please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas.